Something. She got those brands to pay on the Saturday morning.
When they say oh no, the finance accountant is off today.
I don't know how many times as we know, oh sorry, it's gonna have to happen the next payment run is happening around the 15th, right?
Yeah, or maybe in 30 days time.
You see what I'm saying? Rihanna. Mihlali was like, no. You guys, I need my money today.
Now. In the next hour. What up? Welcome to another hot episode of the POPcast. Of course, my name is Ms. Cosmo, you know. Sometimes black, sometimes Targaryen, sometimes a little bit of something else. We come in different forms and sizes every single week. But of course, I don't come alone. I come with my homie, Moochie for one, baby. What up?
What's going on? I didn't get the memo that was what we're doing with our hair. Maybe I could dye my chain or something. Next episode, what? Red, green, something.
Huh?
I must bet you can't just be out here making me look regular.
Your regular old Moochie coming to the POPcast for today.
Yes, I know. Always grand. Good to be back. Welcome to it.
Yes, indeed. And of course, we do have our lovely guest with us today, DJ Vino with the heat.
Yebo.
Are you coming with the heat today, Vino?
Yeah, of course. I always come with the heat.
Heat chills today.
It was a hectic weekend. It's like how Sasuga Pela. It's a hectic. It definitely was a hectic weekend. But yeah, we keep it moving.
But it was a good one. Weekend in Kulu, indeed. And with it being a weekend in Kulu, there was a lot that was happening this past weekend. Events left, right, and center.
Absolutely.
But one of the biggest events that we went to this past week, as POPcast goes to, I did mention in our last episode that we would be broadcasting from Homecoming Africa. So we did exactly that. We were out there making sure that we were checking out all the hottest acts in Pitori. And we spoke to a couple of people. So of course, you're going to see that episode coming up a little bit later.
Absolutely.
But just in terms of it being an event after 3 years in the making and people kind of being out there, Sipo, you were obviously checking out different stages, seeing people's performances. How was it as just somebody who's just there to enjoy the music?
In terms of like the music, the performances, stage setup, always great put up from the guys. So shout out to the team for that. I know they were going above and beyond this time, as they do with Homecoming Africa.
Yeah.
It has a lot of DJs, a lot of people who show up. So naturally they try to mix it up by creating a few stages, that the Botanical stage, Centurion stage, and the Meester House stage. Giving people a little bit of everything and many flavors happening there, a little hip hop, a little gom there.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Main stage for some of the biggest acts in the country right now. All the stages, I touched every single one of them. I know you played at Meester House while they're rocking it. It was a good time. I watched a few of the guys. I watched like Bo Banks play at the Centurion stage. I watched Dos perform, ripping up those tables. That guy brings the energy, you know what I mean? I love his energy. And
I've never seen him perform live. I really want to see him.
I was right there backstage watching him rip it.
Yeah.
And let me tell you something, he makes you also want to take off a top man and say, even me, I can.
You know what
I'm saying? Yeah,
but
man.
please, six-pack first before.
Six-pack first. Hey, that's not a requirement. Imagine. There's no such thing as a summer body. Summer gets the body that you get, you give it. I want about the body that you have right now, that's your summer body.
There's no working.
That's your summer body. But other than that, man, of course, there's a few snags, of course, that come with having not hosted an event in a while and trying new things.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? I feel one thing that people are complaining about and are constantly worried about is the management of this whole Howler cashless card situation and how it operates. Sometimes it feels like it can slow down an event, especially maybe if it's in a congested area and everybody has to go to one point to go and reload these cards and then use that, get in another queue for the alcohol and then another queue for the foods. Logistically, it is a very tricky thing.
Yeah.
And I think they pretty much owned that and said, you know what? Because I don't think Homecoming Africa has had that before. Since the last one was probably 17 or 2018. Sorry, 2019, sorry, yeah. So of course they also you know what, we can see now, there's a new system that we're also introducing and it comes with its own snags. And I think one of the easy resolves for this Howler cards, right? Because usually they're saying load your card over there and then when you're done loading your card, let's say you load 1,000 Rand, whatever, you can spend that money of course by just tapping wherever you go. But they should have a very easy thing, which I've seen at other events, is you shouldn't have one line for reloading the cards and another line to go and buy the food. The people who are selling you the food must be able to reload your card at the same time. You know what I'm saying? It mustn't be in another queue. You know what I'm saying? So if I'm coming and I'm right there, the guys who are reloading, the guys who reload, who are buying as well, they must all be in the same place. So that if I'm running out of cash, I tap same time when I'm in the queue.
But then again, I feel like then I would literally just buy off my card. I wouldn't have to reload and buy.
Yeah.
Which is pretty much defeating the purpose.
You know what I mean?
You're right. So
in theory, it does. But I think they're just trying to get rid of this whole cash. I mean, if they have to do it the way that they want to do it, then at least be at the same spot.
Yeah, but I get you. Like the whole system. I mean? Yeah.
I don't know. These are things that we need to speak about. What is the best way of using these cards? If the events are trying to go cashless and say, no, we're not accepting any. Because remember that these guys are doing deals with Howler.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So that's what it actually stems from. They're doing deals with Howler to handle all their cash and to take away one stress for them, where after that they get to bank their money a little bit later. Versus, which I'm guessing must be some sort of a good deal for events versus them using directly the bank. But I mean, there must be some benefit for them.
How many other people would you spend it to a point where it gets to zero? You won't.
Nobody ever does.
No, but even so how the system works is you load your card.
Yeah.
Let's say you put in 1,000 rand. Maybe you only spend about, I don't know, 900 rand. You've got 100 rand left.
Yeah.
You can now go back because you have to have a Howler account for you to load money on a card. They force you to register so that you can go back on Tuesday and then say, okay, Kupa refund. And then they send the money back into your account. So from a safety perspective, it's a really great idea. It's the execution part that I think is what is making events kind of suffer because like you're saying, the point to load the card, they can't only be one. There has to be more than one if you need to try and do a situation like that. Yeah. So I understand it from a safety perspective because you don't want to handle cash because that's how, thievery kind of happens. People lose money. Yeah. Then it's a banking, accounting system situation. It's just a mess when you're trying to then tally up all of your money. And you're right about banks because obviously, with when you have those swiping machines, you also get charged per transaction. Yeah. So it also becomes cheaper to then do it that way if you're going to go straight to Howler. So that's what I'm saying. The system itself is a great idea. It's about you as an event organizer and where you place these systems and how they work for your event that needs to kind of be cleaned up one. But we also then need to talk about this thing of them getting hacked at every event because it happened at Delicious. It's now happening at Homecoming. Yes, they did mention that. We can't now put on Homecoming. That's not Homecoming's fault.
One thing about South Africans, we're very, very good at crime. So we're always coming up with new crimes. You know what I'm saying? You can't just have peace somewhere. It's those guys are like, oh, now concerts are back. Let me focus on creating these fake tickets and, you know what I'm saying, selling secondhand tickets or selling as a third party. But of course, and now we are getting an influx of numbers of people like, okay, outside of everything else, guys, there's like a 20% of the people who are here actually fake tickets.
Yes. Yeah.
So you can understand that, let's say you're throwing an event for 1,000 people, now there's 1,500. They're like, there's 500 people that shouldn't be here, that we didn't budget for in terms of like security, these queues and everything that you're speaking about. So we're being bothered by the whole crime aspect of the entire situation, that already we're trying to figure out logistics of the people that we're expecting, but now there's all this criminal element that comes into play. And I don't know how much of a percentage that is and how big it's playing. Some people are just seeing it as an excuse and saying, I think when the event goes a little bit south, just say there was crime involved so that people can feel sorry for you or whatever. So I don't know how true it is, but it seems like it's a thing that's constantly coming up at festivals now, which I can always believe, like I said, South Africa, we're very good at crime. So it doesn't surprise me that we found a way to cheat
the system.
To cheat this, not in a small way, because there's always been guys outside with the ticket saying, do you want this ticket? Who can see, my man? Did you print this at your house or something? But now it seems like they've figured out a way to like almost formalize that entire thing, electronic, to make those things really look legit. Because they must be buying them online as well.
Yeah.
Some ways is bypassing a system. Hey, that's another story. In terms of like another criminal investigation, maybe do a Netflix documentary for us. In the meantime, that Howler situation sorted out.
Yeah, it needs to be sorted out internally. Again, good idea. Execution is where we kind of need to figure it out because then those extra 500 people that you're talking about, I'm not necessarily saying they were extra 500 at Homecoming, but they're the ones who then start creating logistical issues. And that was the problem where people were complaining about the buses. And the shuttle system, I think, is really great, especially because you want to park your car in one place and then be able to get, especially in such a big venue like Fort Rekker Monument, you don't want your car to be so easily accessible for other people. Yeah. But I think the up and down was just something that is teething issues. They've owned it. So shout outs to them for owning it. They did send out a press release to be like, hey guys, you know what? Some things were out of our hands. It was a little bit bigger than us, but we've learned from it and we're going to do bigger and better for the next one. And that can be commendable because you also don't want to now badmouth something and say, okay, but do they know what went wrong? Because the rest of the event was great. It was just the lines, I think, that was the biggest issue. Everything else, the entertainment was always top notch. The spacing of where people are to actually watch the performances was also really great. So the experience overall was still good over and above just standing in lines.
Absolutely.
And I think people can also just, understand that we're human, things happen, mistakes happen, they'll learn from it.
Yeah, and to be fair, I don't think Homecoming has a reputation of having bad
put
together events.
Great.
From that to even that Botswana Fontaine, which is their weekly or bi-weekly event.
Yeah.
They're just not known for people for creating frustrating events.
Yeah.
So I think anybody who's going there and who saw those situations were thinking, I'm not used to Homecoming, do this. So when they immediately own it and apologize and plan to do better, I think we expect them to do better.
Yeah, I mean, they haven't thrown in Homecoming since, I don't know, when was it? Maybe the last one was 2019. So definitely makes sense.
Have you been to a Homecoming Africa before?
Yeah.
Which one?
The last one was when... Shucks, it was raining that day.
Was the one where they had?
It was
2018, I think.
I mean, love with the Coco guy. When he performed?
I think Wizkid was there.
Wizkid was supposed to perform. Yes. But was that the one where Wizkid ended up not coming?
They were both booked for the same one.
Somebody didn't come.
OT Genesis.
OT Genesis. Yeah. I remember OT Genesis. He was wearing that Orlando Pirates thingy on the stage.
Yeah.
And then, Wizkid was supposed to be the main act. I think Wizkid disappointed people by not coming on that one.
Oh.
He was the headliner to that. But otherwise, and that was at the rugby stadium.
Yeah.
Hey, Marakidi Losa Wizkid. That one of not arriving. That's his favorite thing to do. He'll always shock me because he's the one person who didn't pitch up for his Coachella performance. I said, my brother, 2 weekends in a row.
There's just no way.
Did you miss your flights?
That's what I'm missing.
What was your plan? I said, maybe you can mind South Africa, Mara Coachella. Think twice, my brother.
For the year.
I'm not too sure about that one. So maybe as a promoter, think twice before you book Wizkid. We love him, but it's tricky, that one. So sticking to a weekend enkulu and the things that were happening in the country over the past weekend, of course, we had the coronation that was happening.
Absolutely.
And Sibonga Nkosi yaKwaZulu because we didn't have load shedding for the weekend. Shout out to you, my brother.
But bro.
The country thanks you for doing such a big thing.
Celebrating that. I in the pits.
But it happened at a great time because we needed all the electricity we needed, especially for all the events that were happening this past weekend. Over and above Homecoming Africa, obviously the coronation happened. Obviously the derby happened. And Amakosi Achabulile. How are you feeling this?
Hey man. Once a pirate, always a pirate. You know what I'm saying? Pagalia or Chuchu so together, my chance. Why you gotta do this to me in front of my enemies? Can't give me any peace. At least Manchester United won, just to appease myself. Something, via sports. But it was a really, really big weekend. Shout out to the Soweto Derby. The biggest, the stadiums are now back full.
Yeah.
So I think this is probably the biggest attended sports event since before the pandemic as well. So it was good to see that. At least if there's something with that. That's the only positive thing I can say from at least, as sports fans are outside, able to fill up FNB Stadium to not maximum capacity, but close to anyway.
Yeah.
So the energy was good. Even Moses Mabhida was busy being filled up by the coronation of King Misuzulu, who got actually got coronated already the traditional way, and this was just a public daps with all the officials there. Showcasing.
Yeah, so big ups to them, man. A big ups to Kaizer Chiefs. Thank you so much for not embarrassing us. Thank you for that amazing goal that nobody saw coming, but it happened.
Amazing.
And you know what?
Amazing.
We're going to take it because you've been embarrassing us for the whole season. So I'm glad this was the one game where you guys said, let's get our act together. And we made it happen. So... I'm good. I'm a happy fan.
Chiefs. That's all you want to talk about.
Yes, yes, the king, Sambona. We're going to talk about the king again.
The king,
the king, Sambona. Mrs. Zulu, shout outs to you, whatever. Kaizer didn't stand up. Kaizer Chiefs, though.
It is good.
I mean, how can I not be happy? Of all the games, this was the one. It needed to be the one.
Yeah, definitely.
Are you also a course enough,
Yeah, definitely.
110%. Even Jessica Mutawong came through. When Jessica came out, I said yes. I said even the queen is here.
We'll be back. We'll be back. See you at Orlando Stadium.
Checking that out. All right, cool. So other big things that were happening this past week. We also saw the return of Miss Rihanna. I don't know if people were happy or sad whether this was the return because, as a Navy fan, everybody's just like, she's releasing music. Is it the one we wanted? I'm not so sure. I was actually listening on the radio this past week and somebody was mentioning how they're not actually happy about this being the return of Rihanna. Because if you think about it, it's not a Rihanna song. It's a Wakanda Forever song. Because in the same way Beyonce did Black is King, was that really a Beyonce album? We're not really sure. Do we care about it? We want the real wretch Rihanna. But maybe she can't be wretch anymore because she's a mother. But I still feel like she's got it inside of her.
No. She's still outside.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, she's dating ASAP.
Yeah.
That's what's one
Mr. Wretch himself.
So, I mean, she definitely still has that within her.
What do you think of the song?
I don't know. Like, it's just, I don't know if it's a sad song. Like, it's not what I was expecting, definitely. I'm just waiting for more from her. Like, it's not.
She's releasing everything. She's releasing babies. She's releasing face scrub.
Yeah.
She's releasing what is it? Ponds things. She's releasing everything but music. You know what I'm saying? And I don't know. This track came out. I mean, already there was like they build it up. Let us know. No, it's what do you call this? A tribute to Chadwick,
yes,
who unfortunately passed away earlier on this year. Was it late last year?
It was last year.
So the entire movie, of course, they were like, you know what? We're actually not going to ignore that there's a glaring thing missing here. And the kind of movie revolves around, even I think in the movie himself is like, he's passed on. So I can understand that the song was never going to be shine like a diamond.
Yeah.
But at least balance us.
You know what I mean?
Like,
I think now that she's in the studio, maybe they locked the studio and they're like, yeah, we're done with Wakanda. But hey, wait. We've been waiting for you in this studio.
Just stay right here.
Lock the door. Forget. Yeah, Wakanda is finished. Now let's get to the real stuff. So hopefully she's got something in the card, something in the pocket. Maybe this will encourage her to come out. Because the reaction when they put out just that small clip, 10-second one on her Instagram, TikTok, whatever, that thing accumulated 60 million views.
That's crazy.
Really?
Online only in the 24 hours that it was out.
Yeah.
So already people were like, you were anticipating something. But you could hear the clip. I was like, guys, it's not what you think. It's not what you think.
It's not the Rihanna that you are waiting for.
Especially because we're heading for Weekend in Cool. It's going to be part of the weekend. No. But hey, man, I guess for what they're trying to do with the track and the movie, big ups to them. But I think maybe now that Rihanna has released one song, that for her Navy and for everybody else who's a fan and whatnot, that maybe now she'll, give people a little something in the new year.
It's tricky, this one, especially because, with Rihanna, I think everybody was kind of waiting for new music, like we're all kind of waiting for. And she doesn't seem like she wants to do this thing. Yeah. And I do think her label is probably saying, okay, you've done what you wanted with the makeup, you've done what you wanted with regards to, having a child. Now we need the music. Also because now they're pushing her to even do the NFL Super Bowl show.
Yeah.
Oh. So they literally, I think they're trying to get her back into a performance type of space. Yeah. But speaking about something like that, where somebody's taken a hiatus for so long, do you think there's also a South African artist who's taken a bit of a break that you can be like, okay, when this person comes back, everybody's going to be waiting more 60 million views or what?
I don't know about 60 million views, but it's funny because based on what happened with Rihanna, I heard my girlfriend was telling me that online she saw somebody say that, guys, what does Rihanna sound like? Who's that girl from the KZN with the guitar?
Zahara.
It's like, what does Rihanna sound like? Zahara?
KZN also?
Not KZN, or Eastern Cape.
Yeah, please.
Somebody said that, and now people online apparently were saying that actually now that you said that, I can't unhear it on this track. And I'm thinking, what is Zahara actually? You know what I'm saying? Who kind Zahara? Because actually Zahara, in terms of musical talent, she has it. You know what I'm saying? She's a great vocalist, singer and songwriter as well, and put together
as well.
And she, you know what I mean? She's somebody who's like a musical being. I don't know if it's everything else around management, personal problems.
I think that's the issue. The management becomes a big issue also in terms of how you execute your music. So I think. But do you think with her, if she had to take out a song, will still be the Zahara that you know?
That's the thing. So now it always, whenever there's a song released, there needs to be a machine moving behind you to say, every list, you're going to be number one on this and that, you're going to be on radio, you're going to be in people's faces for people to pay attention to. So now, because Zahara's problems are stemming from the machine that is not behind her, I don't know if it's going to take it all the way to the top. I do think her fans probably do want it though, especially because, I mean, she's a star for a reason. She's got a fan base. The rollout is maybe the thing that I might be a little bit worried about. Somebody who I was thinking about who possibly could make a comeback, and I've been begging because I think her voice is just so amazing, is Busi.
Definitely. She's been quiet for quite some time.
She also decided, I'm chilling back. I'm going to go and be a mom. I'm going to relax. My sister, come back. We want the music.
I think that hip-hop list threw her off where they put her, it was one of the top 10.
No, that was Busi Iswa.
Oh, that's Busi Iswa.
Yes, I'm talking about Busi. Busi from Superman. Yes. Can you be my... Yes, that's the girl.
Busi Iswa, I was very close. But even Busi Iswa. She was catching a stray as well.
And somebody who is indirectly catching a stray is Babes Wodumo. Because we love her, we want the music to come back, but it's just now tricky. Have you watched the TV show?
If you've watched the TV show, you realize that you must give up all hope. All hope of Babes ever making a superstar comeback.
So
She's
sad.
not interested. She's not interested. She's very, very fine at home.
Really?
In terms of her energy, she's not moving like somebody who knows who they used to be.
Yeah.
She's moving very light, like she's chilling at the crib. You know what I mean? Like she's living a new life there. She performs only in KZN. She has has found her, I want to call it a bit of a comfort zone where she's able to like chip away and make, a living. Versus somebody who was like the biggest artist in the country at some point, and then everything just went.
And she was on the first Wakanda album.
My boy.
For her to now...
No, I don't understand. And all these people that we just mentioned, actually, particularly Zahara and Babes, they come to what you guys just said, Uguti, when you don't have the right team behind you, you can just forget about it. Because it is very hard. Some people really are they have the talent.
Yeah.
And we know if you're in the industry, that talent is just not enough. Many people can rap, many people can sing, but if you don't have the people behind you who move and say, we're seeing you as number one and we're going to move with number one energy, put you on the map the way that you deserve. Because it's very, very hard work. And a lot of people tell you artists can be very, very lazy. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Another performance, another feature. I want to just go relax. You know what I'm saying? And if you get into that relaxed mode, just like any other normal human being, when no one is pushing you,
but it's burnout. At some point, there's also a slight amount of burnout that also kind of comes in because when you're a performing artist, not just a DJ, because Tina, we just stand there, press play, right? But when you're performing, we are chuluga. You must be on form. You must be able to sing and hold your breath. At the same time, you must perform those 50 million dance moves, and you must do that 10 times in one night. It's a lot.
It is very, very tiring. And I guess at the end of the day, there's that separation. Not everybody's motivated by money and being the biggest thing on the planet. You know what I'm saying? Some people are quite happy in their certain lanes. And sometimes naturally we break our brains trying to figure out why doesn't this person want to do A, B, and C? And sometimes they just don't want. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Babes could be living a comfortable life and saying, no, this is what I want to do in exactly this level. I wasn't happy perhaps when I was touching 25 stages every weekend. I was burnt out. I didn't feel like myself.
It gets tiring.
Tiring.
Yeah, the tiring part actually plays like a huge role because definitely like at some point, more katala, your energy becomes less. Like you're just not interested anymore. Like like the level of interaction is not the same. So
do you feel sometimes there's also like up and down types of different shows? Because obviously you working with artists as well and being an artist DJ. Do you see like some shows where you're just like, the energy here was a bit off, and then this one you say, okay, no, he's taking it to the top. But it's obviously like a combination of things.
Yeah, definitely.
Nah, it is. It's definitely difficult. Like I said, sometimes you're just not born with that type of situation. You don't, And again, you think about these people that we're mentioning have been to like number one and know what it felt like. And not in any hurry to get back there. But that must also tell us something. They're like, it's not everything that you guys think it is. Especially people who are scammed out of money, for example. They're like, when I was sweating on stage every single week and I wasn't getting all my money, you guys called me stupid. And you know what I'm saying? Like, it didn't matter that I did all that because I still didn't
get my money.
Didn't get the cup of money. And if I can't find the right team to do that with again, I'm not going to bother just believing the next person who comes along. Trevor Noah was saying something about Kevin Hart. He's like, look, man, I don't want to be Kevin Hart. He's like, Kevin Hart has 27 jobs. He's shooting a movie, then he runs a restaurant, and then he does shows with his boys, then he does a podcast, and then he's like, I make a lot of money, but this guy, there's a reason why you see him making $100 million a year, because he's fighting for that $100 million a year, and he has the energy and he wants it. More than anyone else around him, he wants it. He wants to be that guy who's like a mogul and do all these things. So, and right now he feels like that's the best time for him to do it. And it's like, not everybody has that thing that you're seeing it. And I don't have that thing. I don't want to be like this guy. Opportunities come to a lot of us, but some of us, we pick and choose which one, where we want to focus our energy. And sometimes you're comfortable where you're comfortable. We do forget sometimes, especially in the internationals, these guys do make a lot of money. Even though we're edging them out to be like, Trevor's made hundreds of millions of brands. You know what I'm saying? If we want him to do more, that side is like, I actually don't want to do more.
Yeah.
I'm quite comfortable enjoying my life a little bit. So the mogul thing, the superstar thing, yes, people around you may want it more than you. And when those people aren't around anymore, you're like, maybe I can relax now. And also, sometimes maybe we just learn to leave people alone. we do love an artist. I think just be a recording artist, still give your fans something. The complete disappearing is where we worry, because then I'm like, what is Zara doing?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
But if anybody can find her, please tell her we want to hear just a little bit. Just my sister, find your guitar, do the right thing. All right, so somebody who does care about the amount of work that they are doing and whether they're getting paid for it or not. Oh, my favorite, my sister Mihlali. Do you know what I love the most about her? Do you know what I love about her? So there's always this perception around being like the it girl. When you're the it girl, you are not allowed to have a flaw. You're not allowed to say the wrong thing or do the wrong thing because, oh my gosh, what if this person cancels me as a brand? Or what if ABCD? Now people are going to look at me in a snacks way. What I love about Mihlali is that she is unapologetically spicy and honest to the core. She says, you are going to take me as I am. Yes, I'm a beauty influencer, but I've also got a spicy personality and you're going to take me with the way that I need to be taken. And for somebody who's at her caliber and her also feeling the same feelings that we get as freelancers who either get late payments or don't get paid at all, she was just like, stop this thing of saying, hey, I can't speak on social media. I think you want me to be on social media to post about your brand. Then you must pay me on time. Otherwise, nothing's on plaza.
Let me tell you something. She got those brands to pay on the Saturday morning.
when they say, oh no, the finance accountant is off today.
I don't know how many times as we know, oh, sorry, it's going to have to happen, the next payment run is happening around the 15th, right?
Yeah, or maybe in 30 days' time.
You see what I'm saying? Rihanna. Mihlali was like, no. You guys, I need my money today.
Now. In the
and they started paying Vodacom. And of course, people just mentioned, yes, with most of those things, it's probably agency, not like maybe directly from Vodacom head office that needs to pay Mihlali. So of course, after the things, it's agency. So those guys just woke up and they were like, yo, Vodacom probably hold them and say, better pay that girl right now. We don't have time for this nonsense. You know, the gin company that she dragged, who else was it? Was another brand.
It was Vodacom. It was Saint Lounge in Cape Town, where she had hosted a night there, and as well as Malfusion, because she was the brand ambassador. Yeah.
Saint Lounge, I think, paid first, and those ones you guys know that one already. In terms of like venues, you know, the venues can take forever to pay you. Still rocking businesses, lineup after lineup, Monday after Monday, coming and going, and they're just pretending as if you don't exist.
But then I feel like at some point, these establishments actually need to be on their feet with that, because they need to pay you. Because it's not like that money's not there.
Yeah.
So with you already like pitching, doing whatever, they paying you after your work. And that's wrong.
Yeah.
Because now they need to be on their feet. The same way Mihlali as she's doing, I feel like that's 100%. Like that's the
also
right way to do it.
You see, that's the thing. Like even with some of these venues and us like needing to like chase them to say, hey man, my payment needs to come at a specific time. I get you wanted me there 9 o'clock till 12 o'clock.
My point
I arrived just on time at 9 o'clock. I left at 12 o'clock like we had agreed. Why can't you pay me?
Because the money is in. Wow.
And the worst for me, obviously clubs is one thing because that's a completely different dynamic and how they manage their systems. Agencies also frustrate me because 9 times out of 10, like you're saying, the finance manager at Vodacom probably paid the agency prior to the campaign starting. Why are you sitting on my money?
At the very least, companies pay agencies, especially for big productions, they always pay a deposit. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
Because if you're going to commission a campaign that's worth, let's say, a few million, you got to, off the bat, pay people some sort of amount. Right at the bottom of that list, it's always the creators.
And why? Because they're the stars of the whole thing.
And you will never understand it. It was the most mind-boggling thing.
The campaign won't work without me arriving.
I'll tell you something, right, about brands. In terms of like how they treat particularly creators now. Because a creator now is pretty much anybody can be in the campaign as a creator, I'm saying. Whether you're an MC who's collaborating with the brand to, I'm saying, automatically you're the creator. There's a DJ, as an online person. wherever you are in this campaign, you'll be used kind of like the same way. So you'll find a bunch of people who are in entertainment together in a campaign, right? Agencies are realizing that creators are the people who are running the show because it's a digital campaign. So they're coming to you because of your online presence, how you're moving that side. They're trying to tap into that market, right? They're realizing that they're not the go-to. Brands are saying, we want Vino. So go get that guy and put him on this campaign. We've had to look at him. Someone brought us his profile. This is the guy that we want here. You know what I'm saying? No, Miss Cosmo is the person that we want in this campaign. Agencies are slowly realizing that their model is working less and less. And brands at some point are just going to go over their heads and go directly to you guys and be like, actually, I don't need to be going to the third person. So the agency model is one that is already now is feeling attacked by the existence of online digital creators because it's actually, they realize that they're just a third person now. As a go-to between these brands. At some point, they realize that the brands will be like,
straight to the person.
I might just go straight to the person and let me just give this creator, that creator a brief to create something. Because, I think there's animosity.
But even as a creator, like, I feel at some point you actually work to go straight to the brand as opposed to you getting an agency to get you that brand. You know, because majority of the stuff that I've done or I've collaborated with, I went straight to the brand. And that's the best way to work because now if you have a third party that's where your late payments come in, your money being deducted and etc. So it's best literally to go straight to the brand.
Hey, this thing is tricky. Just please guys, just pay us on time. We will do our job. You do your job. So right. Also, I don't like this conversation because what this also kind of sparked was a conversation on social media about how she's ruined her relationships by posting. Why did she do that? She shouldn't have done it on Twitter. And I'm just like, but why should she be ashamed of not getting paid? Why is she not allowed to speak about the fact that she is being mistreated? Because we speak about everything else on social media. Why is that now something that's blocking you? No, the person who should be actually taken to task are the people who owe her the money. Why is Mihlali the one getting the bad lashing because, she's ruining her relationships? The relationship's already ruined because I'm patal.
Absolutely. And she's probably started by, first of all, voicing her frustration directly to those people. So the emails and the texts that she was sending in the phone call already added tension. You know what I'm saying?
And she said,
let me tell you something, you must never be afraid of telling a brand directly, especially you don't have to always go to social media. You know what I'm saying? Maybe if we are much smaller than Mihlali, you may get the brunt of a punishment and a brand may cancel you. I know there's people out there who are working who've been cancelled by entire organizations because they irritated one person there. And the entire company said, you know what, for example, like an SAB or something. You know, if you mess up one brand there, the entire thing can be like, this guy, we're just gonna leave him out. It's too much stress for us type situation. So, but you must never be afraid to tell these people. Also because brands are also not just something that lives in the sky. That you know, there are real people in charge behind this. Brand managers, there's entire teams. And sometimes all it takes is for one person to leave that post and you're back inside. The brand manager will never be the brand manager forever. Sometimes you don't have to outclass or cancel a brand. You just have to cancel one person. And I'm like, you won't be here forever. Once you're done, I'll be back with this brand. No problem.
The party continues.
The party continues. People, advertising agencies and whatever, people switch posts every time. I'm saying the same brand manager that sometimes you do that on the job because you're like, hey, I used to have my guy in here. Now your guy is gone. Now you're like a new person. You're back there trying to reintroduce yourself. You know what I'm saying? So sometimes it works against you when your guy is gone or your person that you that knew your work and whatever is gone and you have to like reintroduce yourself. But sometimes you can mess up a relationship with one person and you can be like, this person has a problem with me. And that's fine. I'm just gonna have to outlast you.
You know what? At the end of the day, let's treat each other like professionals and do the things that we need to do. Deadlines are there for a reason. Payment deadline is also very important. Please. All right. So with that, we are going to jump straight into our unpopular questions. Oh, we have a bag now. Oh, shout out. Hey, it's an upgrade. We have a bag. Shout out. So Vino, you as our guest are going to pick the question and answer as honestly as possible. We also don't know what's happening in that bag. So we're just as confused as you are. Huh?
Also go ahead.
Yeah, go. Let's roll.
Okay. What rapper have the best beats?
Ooh, okay.
Or which rapper has the best beats?
What are you saying, Vino?
AKA.
Really?
Yeah.
Really?
Like he's sampling. He knows how to like pick beats.
Yeah.
Like he knows how to like kind of emerged like he's rapping towards like his beats are always different.
Yeah.
Like you can hear like a Keenan beat. And I mean, let's take for Lemonade, for example, the one that you just took out. What's the sample? What sample did he again?
I'll remember it just now, but nonetheless.
And it feels refreshing and
it's a very old school, like mid-tempo, mid-tempo house song.
So I feel like he definitely has like the best beats. Maybe another one I could say Blackie.
Some people always argue this thing about AKA, just to kind of go back to him. They say that sometimes it also feels a little lazy on his part because they can automatically hear the sample. So for them, it just feels like, you're just re-energizing an older song for people who know the originals. But now it's a twofold conversation because if ngimdala, I'll know the sample because, you've now outlasted me in the music. However, I think to newer ears, to kids who are on the streets now, 18-year-olds probably don't know the older songs. So for them, they're just like, oh shit, this is dope. It's a new school. So it kind of sits on both sides of the spectrum.
Yeah, AKA does put together very good production, and we know he takes that very seriously, him and his entire team.
Yeah.
On the production side. So, and I respect the fact that he does keep South African music alive. So that's always good. Like when you guys are saying, the 18-year-old kid is going to be like, what is this track? And somebody tells me, this used to be a hit from back in the cut. It's good that we keep our own music alive and big up our own old house tracks or any other genre. That's always dope.
Yeah.
And he always does it in a very clean way. I guess people sometimes can complain and say it's repetitive or it sounds like he's just always doing that formula.
Yeah.
It could be a cheat code, but he's comfortable in that pocket and he does it a lot. And I'd say more often than not, it sounds good. So he does a very good production quality. I will say that. Somebody else whose beats I really like, and I think there's a change. I like Mash Beats as a producer.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I feel like everything that he touches, he puts really, really nice sound onto it. Very evident at the era where he spent a lot of time working with Aries. A lot of that quality was coming from the fact that you got a guy.
Yeah.
And that's always good when you have somebody, when you have, and some artists don't do this a lot. Like just to find the guy, if you say I'm good at rapping and I trust my raps, and then I say Vino is great at production and I trust him, us coming together is a good thing.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah. The artists who don't want to collaborate with other people a lot, you can hear it in their sound. Something is lacking here. And it's lacking because you're not exploring people who are really good at that part of it. If you don't know the entire machine, just get the right people inside so that your sound comes out as clean.
Yeah, sometimes it's just like the clicking. Like it's as you're saying, sometimes as a rapper, you will sound different if, let's say, you go to another producer as opposed to now there's a specific guy that you, as you're saying, Mash Beats and Aries, or there's that guy that you actually click with. So it becomes a different sound if, let's say, you go to, like, it's going to another store. And it's like, you know what I mean? So definitely I rate the whole situation of like actually clicking with like a producer or like a...
And you know what? You can also hear it when, let's say, these guys squabble or something goes wrong. And then they move on from that specific producer that they've made gold with. And then you're like, but what is happening
now?
with the music?
You don't sound the same.
Yeah. And I can say that there's a lot of like rapper producer pairings that I've heard over time where I'm just like, you guys made gold together, continue working with each other. Obviously, the notable ones, I think PH, Raw X and Cooley had a really great like producer-rapper relationship. More so now, the person that I was actually going to mention was KO with Lunatic.
Yeah.
Because KO worked with Lunatic for Skanda Republic 1. Skanda 2, I don't know, maybe there was something in the water because they weren't working with each other on that album. And then KO said, bring the kid back and we're back at the top. Do you know what I mean? Stick to the formula, the one that works. It's going to get you to a specific place that you needed to work. I remember even when AKA was working with Tweezy, that was also a pairing that I think they need to find each other again. My guys, do the things, bring the relationship back. But it is just definitely about that synergy that kind of comes in. But 100% Mash Beats, I don't know what he's smoking, but right now, keep smoking it, my brother. It's working for you, okay?
Definitely, man. And I think, I guess, even being an artist, you understand, is not easy because you're always getting judged. If you change the team, why did you change the team?
Yeah.
If you don't change the team, you're with the same people all the time.
Yeah.
Like, the conversation can be, I've worked with the entire time, but as soon as I'm like, are they beefing? Sometimes you want to explore a new sound and it's not beef. Sometimes you can create beef just by saying, you know what, Miss Cosmo, I'll be back. Let me just go try this new artist. And then she's like, I thought we were rocking. No, I'm just trying to diversify. Maybe in this new album, I want to explore something different. I want to show some growth. Sometimes you do move away because you're trying to explore new things. And not because it's always just beef. Because you're just like, I want to experiment a little bit and maybe try different pockets. And sometimes it fails. Sometimes you could find a new sound that could elevate your thingy. But I think staying in the hunt is what people need to do. You know what I'm saying? Staying abreast and always do the experiments quietly. Once you're in studio, we're not there. You can do experiments quietly. You can sit there and experiment with new sounds quietly, see where it works, see with the immediate people. But the problem is people, when they take these breaks, then you're out, you don't know, you're coming back in the game, and you're like, let me just get the new kids to feature on my thing. All this. So if you're a working artist, I say you must just always keep your ear to the ground so you can recognize even when new talent comes about. That's this guy kind of makes my type of sound. I can collaborate with somebody new. Doesn't have to be the same person, but I can continue on the same type of trajectory, but with a new guy because they have a understanding of a current sound that maybe you're trying to tap into. I think being open is the best way.
100%, man, 100%. I think the music will always kind of speak for itself, and that's what we always need to kind of go back to. So, hey man, find your pairing, make it work. But the music is there, the beats are there, the producers are there.
Yes,
all right, talking about new music, there were a couple of albums that dropped this past week. And of course, we can't necessarily jump into all of them from a review perspective. But, you can leave some comments and let us know which album has actually been rocking your weekend. Because their weekend, Benkolo. So much so that, of course, the albums that did drop, more noticeable, obviously, Blackie with the Formula tape. I think anybody in hip-hop right now is just saying shout out to the boy. Work rate, 100%. We're loving it, Blackie. Somebody who dropped last week, rather, but we didn't get a chance to mention, A. Reese with Deadlines Free, P2. You were listening to that album over the week. How are you feeling about A. Reese and the energy?
Amazing. I mean, even the one song that stood out for me was the joint with MT. Because they haven't done a joint in so long, so that was an amazing energy. You know what I mean? So
shout outs, man. And of course, from a house music perspective, Murder dropped his album. First time dropping a single project, because obviously he was with Black Motion initially. And now he's dropped a solo project. And he has named it after his daughter, which I think is beautiful, Asante. Featuring a whole host of South African artists, which is also really great. But taking and also kind of sticking in the Afro-tech type of market. So big ups, man. The summer must just be yours. Take it all the way to the top. Ladies Amar's also made a return.
Absolutely.
With the Royal Flush. So check that out. And an album that I think a lot of Amapiano kids have been waiting for. And he kept saying, I'm coming, but I'm not coming, but I'm coming. There's a delay, there's a management, there's a what, there's a label. The album is finally out. So Trill with Ghosts.
Absolutely. I'm loving the sound on that album so far. That and on the Amapiano side, guys, you're a piano guy. Man.
Because we're now busy guys.
Because I'm busy guys hip-hop all the time. So every now and then I gotta post the hip-hop and see what's going on over here. But the Sir Trill as well as Butcher's album, there's really, really good sounds in there that I'm enjoying. And I'm thinking what they might, especially there's some tracks there on that Butcher album who I feel might be really, really strong contenders for some December Jones.
Nice.
Of course, these guys aren't making any mistake. They know it's at the top of November now, so it's time to get the heat out right now. So
December, you get the bookings.
You know what I mean? So they're trying to make sure. So the timing is perfect, especially for the dance guys. And I think with those two albums particularly, I think we're going to see a lot of singles come out of there that are going to probably heat up the streets.
100%. And also PH Raw X from Giyani with Love 2. So this is the second offering from that album pairing. And with PH, one thing I like about him, obviously because he's a producer and he's a rapper, he's also always kind of experimenting with different sounds. But the one thing I love so much is how he insists on introducing us to a new side. I don't think Limpopo gets as much love as they deserve when it comes to from a music perspective. And the fact that he's introducing us to different sounds, coming through with a lot of Giyani influence on his album, really dope. So, those are the albums for us to, of course, check out. But taking it to the top from a single perspective, I do have to say thank you very much for fixing your relationship. Because we just wanted you boys to be rocking for December, and I think you're going to be doing that. Destruction boys are back, and they are causing a distraction. You know,
that song woke me up, bro. No, we're bumping it. I was like, this is that Durban gom, that popular sound.
Yeah.
Have you ever set foot in the Durban club and you already from outside, you're like, it's banging inside here.
Banging inside here. I'm so glad you guys are back and you are giving us music together. Q and Max, thank you so much for doing that. Destruction Boys are back. They've got 2 singles, one featuring DJ Tira and Worst Behavior in the Elevators called Intsangu. Huh? Man, we pay when it's out. Do you hear that, Tira? You know when Tira comes through and he says, you don't have a choice but to listen to him. He's the mayor of Durban. What else are you going to do? Take the instruction and go with it.
How do you smoke Tira? That looks like a guy who can get you to do a lot of things, but you'll be sitting there going, no. I wasn't saying Namin so pay but I was saying you must enjoy.
So shout out, go and check that out. Of course, coming through with the Durban vibes there. The second song, Worst Behavior, featuring Destruction Boys, OK Malumku Cat, Juicy, and Sky Wonder. And the song is called Umsebenzi. And that's exactly what they're giving you. Umsebenzi. They're giving you the work. And Durban Stand Up, man, Gom is still inside and it's ready. Over and above all the other music that did drop this past weekend, those are the 2 songs that stood out for me.
Absolutely, man. I love it. Look, the streets are flooded with music. Whatever genre that you're into, there's something out there for you. I think hip-hop got a lot of flack for last year, especially maybe the past 2 years.
Yeah.
About not dropping enough. I think this year they're like, okay, sharp. Let's drop. Let's drop the music. Let's let the people eat. Let's not be like, hey, what's Gom doing? What's Amapiano doing? No, stick to it. So I don't think whatever genre that you're into, evident to the list that we just gave you right now. There's something for everybody, all the way from the Rihanna set music, all the way straight down into There's something for everyone, which I love, man.
Yeah, man. The music is hot, and of course it is summertime. Piano, we've got hip hop, we've got Afro tech, we've got house music, we've got the Gom. Everybody is catered to. Go out there, support local artists because, you know, they are the ones that we need to take to the top for the summer, of course. Yes, but with that, we do have to say thank you to our guest, Vino with the Heats.
Thank you for having me.
Vino, where can people catch you on the streets, on the social media? What are you up to? What is the summer looking like?
The summer is actually looking a bit nice, because, from when did COVID end?
Beginning of the year.
In terms of this is like a crazy December.
Yeah. Because December last year had curfew.
You know what I mean? So this is the first.
And of course, South A, as you can see. Just as we were celebrating Mrs. Zulu giving us the weekend off, we're back on load shedding, and it is what it is. But anyway, Vino, again, thank you so much for joining us today.
Thank you,
sir.
Man, keep on liking, subscribing, letting us know what you like, what you don't like. We will be back again next week. Next week we have something special. Pop Radio making a return. So we do have some awesome interviews that we will be sharing for a couple of weeks in November, but of course the rest of December, because Nati, we need a bit of a break. And if you want us to shoot some POPcast goes too, that's what we're going to be shooting in December. But of course, you're going to get some interviews that are going to be rolling out throughout the summer.
Absolutely. Don't forget to like, comment, share the content, subscribe, keeping hitting us up with your comments, loving the energy, loving the support. Yes, sir.
Indeed. Later.